Hi guys, long time no see, and we're back with some BT12 content. So let's do the main person of the deck, Arresterdramon Hunters. So obviously for our baby eggs, we're gonna be having Monemon. It's been a long time since I've done a profile, guys. Have mercy on me. And let's go into our level 3s. So level 3s, we're gonna have Gumdramon. I just feel like it makes sense to have the rookie. But for my other level 3s, I've changed it a little bit, because instead of the pencil, I'm using Shoutmon. I know the DP is very important, but as long as it has save in its text, I think this one's a very important Digimon to have just in general. It can really win you some games, and I just feel like it's just an important part of the deck. Next up, we're going to do 3 of Psychmon. I feel like you don't need to run a whole playset because you see it enough times, and 1 little spicy tech of Dracmon. Now, Dracmon is usually in the Rivals Hunters deck, but I wanted it in this one just so I can have some more draw power in case I can't see all of what I need. And if I have tamers that I don't need, like Watchmaker, then I'm pretty sure I can discard it. And not discard it, but put it at the bottom of my deck to try and get some new cards. All right, let's go to level 4s. Clockmon. I feel Clockmon's very important for the deck just because Arresterdramon himself actually has pretty low DP in my opinion. So I think you need to give it some jamming just to be able to help it. Another level 4, Digimon. Digimon is a good card. I can't say, 3 copies. I can't say I've had the best luck with its searches. I would often like brick in terms of it, but I think it's still a very important part of the deck. And just because I'm having bad RNG doesn't mean you guys will. Next up, we've got Tuarmon. Tuarmon, I bumped it down to 2 instead of 3. I just feel like we don't really need that much of Digivolve effects unless it's a mirror match. So instead of putting it to 1, I put it to 2 just in case. If they put out Quartzmon, then you can always Digivolve it, and it should be a bit safe from that. Of course, we definitely have to have the boy, the king of Cross Heart, Shoutmon King version himself. Shoutmon King version is wonderful. You basically play out a tamer and you already have a Digimon on field. I think it's just really great, and maybe because I'm just like a hardcore Shoutmon fan, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, my preference. Next up, of course, we also have Arresterdramon. Arresterdramon, one of the very beautiful spices of the deck. As long as everything is safe and its traits, you're pretty much good. And I always feel like you can have this card as the most flexible in terms of putting it under a tamer, then you can always have that effect of Digivolving from a card that's one of your tamers into that. And that should do it for our level 4s. Let's head up to our level 5s, shall we? If we could do it, we got it. We got it. Level 5s of the deck. I feel like it's pretty straightforward. And just to take note that we are not playing any level 6s for this deck because it's not really needed. So 4 of Arresterdramon Superior Mode, it is such a strong and goated card. I just feel like it's really, really wonderful in terms of all that it does. And you can really get it quite quickly in terms of it if you know your like how your play strats and strategy in between. Of course, next level 5 is Omni Shoutmon. Omni Shoutmon, I feel like I don't really see it in too much, like in terms of other decks. But I think it's just a good card just to have in case you can't find your superior modes. You have another level 5 to go into, and then you can go into the level 7 card of this deck, which of course, unsurprisingly to a lot of people's hate, is Quartzmon. Quartzmon is the 2 level sublets that we're going to be playing in this deck. I had 2 just because it was very hard for me to just find Quartzmon at 1. I think it's obviously with this Digivolve effect, it's really great. I actually managed to win a game in an opponent because even though I was down on field, as soon as I put a Quartzmon out and then I could swing for a game with my rookie, it helps the deck so much. And I think it's really important to have. All right, I say we go into options. You're only going to be running 2 options for this deck. Nothing else is really needed. Overflowing Power at 2. I don't even really need to run a playset of these because sometimes I might not even need Overflowing Power, but it's really great for those end of turn game turnarounds and everything else in between. I think it's just wonderful. Now, let's head on to our tamers. Tamers, it's an interesting mix. So 3 of Watchmaker. Watchmaker, another searcher, it's really, really good. But I think it's also wonderful in terms of its effect that if you have at least 4 tamers in play, including himself, then you get to have security attack +1. He's the aggression part of the deck as well as Arresterdramon superior mode. So I think just having him on field with Arresterdramon superior mode, really essential. And what would be a Digimon without his tamer Tagaru? I run 3 of Tagaru. I've seen a lot of people run 4. He is a memory setter, but I feel like with how low the Digivolution costs are, and not many people are running Floodgates in the new meta, Tagaru can be at 3 and he still does a good job. He's just not as effective, I would say, as these tamers such as Yu. You guys probably know Yu has an errata. Instead of by placing 1 Digimon with save on your hand from under one of his tamers against 2 KTP, it's actually gain a memory. Bandai. So, and the last ones would be Taiki Kudo, the last tamer of the deck. Taiki Kudo is really good, is your draw power in case you need it, and you get to put in something under your sources, and then of course if you're digivolving, you get to reduce the sources with all 3 of them and not with Watchmaker. Well guys, that's it for the deck. I had a really, really fun time with the Hunters. It's just not my real spice in BT12, but I think everyone can do really, really well with the deck. I ages ago did a tier list saying that Hunters wasn't as prevalent, and I do apologize for that. He does seem to be pretty prevalent, Tagaru and his Digimon, and I hope that you guys can join me for the next one. All right, I'll see you, Cubs. Bye!